Okay, we have a result. If you saw me jamming on Zoom, that would be because we were listening to music that I cannot play for the YouTube video. I'm sorry. I don't want to get copyright struck or whatever the past tense of that is. But we have our answers. So very interesting results this time. We've had some very mixed debates recently, which is a good sign. That means it's very contentious. So for the audience poll, which I'm sharing now, we have 54% in favor of the affirmation and 46% in favor of the negation, because that is how math works. But for the judges poll, we have 3-1 in favor of the negation. So very mixed results. And so I'm going to go around to the judges and ask them to explain their decisions for all of us to educate us. And I will start with Lucas, if you are ready.
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So first, great job, everyone. It's a really fun debate. I voted neg for two reasons. First was solvency. I thought that, the question is, will a tax solve for obesity and health issues? I ended the debate thinking like maybe, maybe not, but I thought there was not enough support from the AF, who does have the burden of proof. And also the other reason was based on the question, will a tax negatively impact lower income communities or will it help them? And I didn't buy AF's argument that an increase of a couple, cents on these items will completely overhaul the diets of individuals. And I think the studies referenced by the neg did a good job of, supporting her claim. AF did try to counter it. I think AF could have done a better job countering this argument. You guys focus mainly on, Americans wouldn't starve with a tax. But I don't think that was the best reputation for this point. But yeah, ultimately I left the debate thinking, yeah, okay, sugar's bad. Would a tax solve the existing problems associated with it? I was doubtful, leaning no, and it might also create new ones. So that's why I voted neg.
All right, thank you, Lucas. Next up, I will have Ben give me his opinion.
So I also, thank you, Molly. I also voted for the negation tonight, and I agree with Lucas's point on the app was lacking on solvency a little bit. I think especially in the next final rebuttal, that idea that the tax won't work unless you increase accessibility and education to healthier food for low income people was very potent and was kind of striking down the app's case. One of the main things that I liked about the next case, though, is that they gave me very tangible impacts. They talk about the 23.5 million people who have 40% of people in low-income communities live in food deserts and things like that. And when we kind of compare this to some of the numbers the app gave me, I get a 10% increase in sales of soda. So I don't necessarily know that that benefit is enough to outweigh the cost to the low-income communities, especially when we consider that these are also some of the same people who might lack access to healthcare, who are going to be benefiting from those socialized medicine programs and so on and so forth. I also think that the app dropped a couple of points on the negs that was important. So things like transferring to other items that are not taxed but still unhealthy, how chronic diseases have other causes. I think the neg dropped some points on the app's case as well, but those weren't quite as harmful to their case as some of those. So on balance, in comparing costs and benefit, I felt like the neg did a good job of showing how the app's plan has more negative impacts to low-income communities than it would positive impacts on.
All right, thank you, Ben. Next, I will have Anna give her opinion, please.
All right, so great job to everyone. I'm actually the one who voted for app. The only one. It was a really hard decision, and I want to say first off, Rachel, you did an amazing job because she wrote both, and I know how hard that is. Literally so hard. So I was gonna say, like, I had numbers in here, and I was going with negation until I looked back at what the Young said. I think that you really won it over, at least for me, just due to the fact that a lot of the like Rachel's like comeback points were a lot of the same argument about the communities that were impacted, which is a huge point and really important. But I also felt like he made a lot of like different points that were like pointing out, like coming back at her argument from the first time. Ultimately, I think that both teams did really good. And I was going to say the crossfire was also really good. And I think if I was voting just on the crossfire, Rachel would have definitely gotten that. You did like an amazing job coming back with those points. So great job to everyone. So it was really close.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, if you could please pass that to Nina to round us out.
Hello, hello. Amazing debate, everyone. Yeah, to reiterate, Rachel writing 2 speeches. I struggle writing 1, so writing 2 is pretty incredible. So congrats on that. But yeah, I was pretty back and forth the entire debate. Really until the end, I wasn't sure which way I was leaning. But I agree with what all the other judges said, so I'll kind of keep mine shorter. But I think at the end of the day, Rachel kind of talked about how eating, that just because there will be attacks doesn't necessarily mean that people will, sorry, my brain is, there's so much information. Just because there will be attacks doesn't mean that people would be necessarily eating healthier. And I didn't really hear any sort of negation or contradiction to that from the affirmation, which I would have liked, because that just doesn't necessarily translate to a healthier diet. That being said, I would have liked to hear more from the negation about how the U.S. is kind of it's a different country from the different kind of case studies and kind of a more holistic view, just because it works in some part of the U.S. and will work on the nation on the national scale. I kind of would love to hear that more from the negation side. That's kind of what I was waiting on until the very end. Also at the end, when Rachel talked about the increasing access to healthy foods, should be the goal rather than making junk foods more difficult to access. That kind of was really the final sway for me at the end. I felt like that was a very solid point, and I didn't really hear anything from the affirmation side that would make me think that their side would have a kind of solution to that or that kind of thing. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Great job to everyone. It was a pleasure to watch you all speak.
Thank you, Nina. And thank you, everybody, for coming out to show your support tonight. This was, of course, usually I call these spicy, but I suppose it's, sweet for today's purposes. But if you are interested in what we do here, there are a couple of ways that you could follow up if you want to, if possibly interested in seeing future debates or joining the team. On Instagram, you can find us at UF Speech and Debate, very easy to remember. On Facebook, very similar, UF Speech and Debate or UF Speech and Debate members. You can't forget it. And other than that, that is all for me. Thank you all once again, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Go Gators.